What is up, guys? This is one of my favorite car accessories that I actually have in my car. Welcome to the live. I am Francis the Instructor, but ooh, yeah, hot. I've been running around collecting up all of the car accessories that I'm going to show you guys today. What is up, Ricardo? Good afternoon. Absolute legend. What? Yes, you came to the last live and you were my top commenter. Appreciate you coming back, man. Lando Spark, hello, how are you doing? We're going to have so much fun today. We are going to have so much fun. Thinly Spread, what a YouTube name. Something to do with butter? Logan Dawson, what is up, my man? Okay, so I'm going to be controversial today because what do we think of these? If you don't know what these are, that's okay. But I want to get your opinion today on car accessories. I want to get your opinion on what is necessary to have in a car and what kind of you just don't really need. What do you think this is? Interesting. It's got a clip at the back and it's got POM on the front. It's not prepare, observe, and move. What I want to know is, Eva, what is up? What I want to know, comment A and B. A, if you already can drive, and B, if you're learning to drive, so you don't actually have a car yet, because some of these things are going to be relevant if you're learning to drive, and others are going to be relevant if you can already drive. I'm not sure which one's going to be my favorite yet, but I have some really cool stuff. And some mystery things. What do you think is inside here? You might be able to tell because it's a little bit grassy. That's a clue. Some of them are going to be kind of obvious, and some of them are going to be us slandering rubbish products. If you know, you know. So let's get in the chat. Ricardo, is that my croc? Yes, because my feet are that small. Simon, what is up, Simon? You've got fairly small feet, but not that small. Oh, that was the joke I just made, but you'd already made it like earlier in the chat. Lando Spark, is that a magnetic phone mount? Well done. Yes, it is. Phone mounts are really important. We're going to be talking about that coming up. Erin, what is up, Erin? Hi. Logan Dawson, you wear them in real life. Okay, so this is the controversial chat. Maybe we should start with Crocs. I think maybe we should start with Crocs. Eva, you can participate, or is that a spoiler? Lando Spark is A, Ricardo Portwood is B. So Lando Spark can drive, Ricardo Portman is learning. Or did I say it the other way? I actually can't remember now. C, I'm too young to drive. Oh, awesome. Nice. How old are you then, Logan? Ricardo, but good enough already, thanks to commentary. Okay, so comment B if you're learning to drive, and A if you can already drive. Ricardo Portwood, Tom is the worst. It's not slander when it's true, Francis. Yeah, you know. Londo Spark, Tom is the worst thing ever. Thinly Spread, you passed a few months ago thanks to my videos. Awesome, congratulations. Where did you pass? And how did you find your driving test? What was that? That putting your thumb up does a okay, cool. This is my second ever YouTube live. What is up? Welcome to the studio. Logan Dawson, 16 turned 17 in August. Okay, we can talk a little bit about timescales. Let's do that. Londo Spark has a driving license, not claiming to be good at it though. Okay. Erin says, I can't remember what A or B is, but I can drive past a few months ago. Yeah, I said A and B, and then I forgot completely what I assigned each letter to. I should have just said type if you can drive and type if you can't. Thomas says, what's the background? Okay, so welcome to the studio. This is fun. Glasses, because then I don't have to wear glasses. They're already on my head. YouTube button, YouTube play button, neon light, cool. These trees aren't real. I'll be honest with you guys. These are plastic from IKEA, but they're really fun and they look nice, especially with the new lighting that we've got going on back here. This is from IKEA. Just thought it looked nice. And this is a McLaren lanyard with a McLaren MP4-12C attached to it. My favorite car. Probably the best car in the world. The best car in the world. Okay, that's the studio tour. Done. Welcome to it. And if you're going to watch tomorrow's video with Eva, it's her last mock test. Eva's last mock test, where I'm going to tell you whether she passed or failed her real driving test, because that's already happened. Eva's in the chat. Somewhere along here. Eva's in the chat. She's already taken her driving test, and it's her last mock test tomorrow. So you will be able to find out what's going on, whether she passed or failed. No spoilers, though. No spoilers, please. Eva. Obviously, Eva knows the answer. I know the answer. But we're going to find out tomorrow on tomorrow's video. So Thomas, that's the background. It's not a Zoom background. I actually made this. Oh, fun. I wonder what else I can make it do. YouTube things I didn't know. Thinly spread past at Gillingham. Nice. Gillingham's cool in Kent. Commentary driving people. Yes, say it a million more times. Fake trees. Yeah, they're fake. Those are fake trees. Given that Josh came down to you for a driving test, are you planning to come to Stoke and take one of our tests? I wasn't planning to come to Stoke, but I don't mind taking a driving test anywhere. Do you know where I really want to go next? I did a driving test at the UK's second worst driving test centre, Erith. Okay, what else can I make it do? This is so much fun. YouTube is the best. See, this is why we do YouTube lives and not TikTok lives either. Yeah, so what I want to do next is go up to Liverpool, which is the worst driving test centre for pass rate in the country. That's coming up soon. So let's talk about timescales. So you can apply for, you said you're 16 already. I hope that you've already applied for your provisional driving license, because you can do that when you're 15 and 9 months old. 15 and 9 months old is when you can apply for your provisional, so that you've got a driver number, and then you can book your theory test for your actual 17th birthday. And then you can pass as quickly as possible. Cool. Everyone's saying, hi, Eva, she will pass. Well, will she? Or will she mess it up? Okay, now I have to do one of the worst. Yes, Londo, definitely. Ricardo said you can pass, and that's why Francis and myself bang on about commentary, because we want you to pass. We do want you to pass, guys. Okay, let's talk about something that's kind of rubbish, and I'm not going to pull out the TomTom. This is really, really bad. I've had this for a long time, and it's the worst car accessory that I have. I know. I have Crocs that go in my car, but this is the worst car accessory. So this is something that you really do need in your car. It's a Hoover. I actually can't make it work right now because it has to be plugged into the car's cigarette lighter. Somewhere on this loom is one of these. And it just doesn't do anything except make a noise. This is the worst thing I've ever bought for the car. Even if you put, what's the lightest thing in the world? Sand into the carpet, this wouldn't pick it up. So when you're going to buy something, it's a good idea to keep the receipt, because I didn't and I couldn't return it. And now I just have the worst car accessory, even worse than Crocs and even worse than the TomTom. Can we have a vote, guys, in the comments? Crocs yes or Crocs no? Because if you watch the podcast, me, Kate, and Vicky do a podcast. The videos are all on the channel on Driving School TV, and we have this debate quite a lot. And I'd love to hear what you guys think. Are Crocs an ick, or are they okay? So now I'm going to pull out this. It's powered by USB-C, so great. It's battery powered. You can take it anywhere. Could clean the house with this. Not really. 2 power settings. Oh yeah. This is the best thing I have in my car. Literally, the best thing I have in my car. It's from Amazon, and it costs quite a lot of money. Guess how much this cost? It's a Hoover. Guess how much this cost, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. Closest one wins. 10 points. Comments. I thought that was a bloody Hoover, bro. It was a bloody Hoover, bro, Ricardo. Eva loves the Crocs. Eva. I know Eva loves Crocs because she wears Crocs a lot. But worst car accessory than a TomTom? Yes, because the TomTom actually does something, and the green Hoover does absolutely nothing at all. Rian says Crocs, yes. Kenk M says thumbs up, probably to the Crocs. Adam, it's about to take off. Londo Spark wouldn't wear Crocs out in public, but in the same kind of places you would wear sliders, maybe. What, like in the beach? Like, I don't know, where would you wear sliders? I wouldn't wear sliders either. Maybe in gym changing room. That's where sliders are going to come into play. But then Crocs, no, I probably wouldn't. Maybe you don't own a pair if they're comfy, then why not? Okay, so I actually tried on a pair of Crocs at Vicky's house. Vicky from the podcast in Scarlett's Driving School. And I didn't rate it. They're not as comfy as trainers. Like, please explain to me why we wear Crocs. Why is that a thing? They look stupid. You look silly. You do. You look silly in Crocs. I'm sorry to tell you. Like, if no one's told you before, you look silly in Crocs. And they're not that comfortable at all. Good. I've got guesses coming in for the prices. Someone's quite close. Yes, you can legally drive in Crocs. Thinly spread, for sure. You can legally drive in anything. There's no like rules or laws about you can't drive in this, you can drive in that. The rules are if you're in control of the car, it's safe. So if you can drive in high hills, then it's perfectly okay. Why is the TomTom bad? WIW. The TomTom's the worst sat nav. Let's go for prices because I want to talk about the price of this. Bossman, £7. £7 for this. It's like a spaceship. Did you not hear the noise? £7. Listen again. This would suck your face off. It's that powerful. It didn't cost £20. Simon Meadows is the closest with £89.99. It costs £60. £29.99 from Kenk M. Yes, £60, but it's such a good Hoover. So let's talk about the price of this. It's upside down. This is the sat nav that they use on the driving test. It's a TomTom Start 52. So if you're taking your driving test, probably want to practice with one of these because it works very differently to Google Maps on your phone. I've just got a notification for my own live. Sick. It works very differently to Google Maps and Waze. I would say if you've already passed your driving test and you bought one of these, you'd be very disappointed. It's not connected to the traffic, to the internet, so it doesn't know when traffic is. Google Maps will route you around traffic and take you the actual quickest way. This will just take you straight. Regardless of what's in the way, the road could be closed. This wouldn't know. Why is this a thing? You can get more expensive TomToms for sure that can connect to your phone via Wi-Fi, but this one can't. And it's the one they use on the driving test. It's kind of annoying. It's naggy. Turn left. In 200 yards, turn left. In 80 yards, turn left. Turn left now. Oh, shut up. I heard you the first time. The TomTom is the worst sat nav. And guess how much I paid for this? Actually, guess how much I paid for this. Go for it. £70, Erin. 50 quid, Londo Spark. The bloody dreaded TomTom, Ricardo Portwood. Yeah. Thinly spread uses Google Maps. Ryan, hey, what is up? She passed her test this week. Congratulations. £100. Rayan, you're right. It's $99.99. This TomTom. And do you know what you can do for free? What you can do for free and what you should do for free is download Google Maps. It's free. It's connected to the internet. Why would you use anything else? £60, Ricardo. Yeah, if it was £60, it might be more worth it. But they're £100 and you've got a sat nav on your phone for free. How is TomTom a company that's still in business? Is it just the driving test DVSA propping them up? No idea. Why bother with a TomTom when you have a phone? If you can get Wi-Fi TomTom, then you have a phone. Just use that. I think that made sense. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying, Londo. What's your opinion on like £100 CarPlay screen dashes for a car without a big dash? CarPlay is a game changer. I'm going to tell you a story. Here's the story. We all know what car I drive. It's an Abarth 595 Competizione, right? We all know this because I talk about it a lot and I love it. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. This car. It's my favorite thing in the world. But I used to have a Mercedes A180 and It's been in all the videos. It looks great. It's a great place to be inside, and it's got all the infotainment, but it doesn't have one thing. Well, it does have one thing, but it kind of doesn't. So you connect your iPhone or your Android phone to the car. It will flash up and register and let you know that the phone's connected, but it won't enable CarPlay. Why not? And this took me about half an hour to realize or research. And here's the story. So with Mercedes, once you've bought the car, like 25K, I didn't buy it, but that's how much like the base Mercedes costs. The smallest, the cheapest one, 25K, like minimum. I actually don't know the price, but I'm guessing. You paid all that money. You connected your phone, but CarPlay hasn't popped up. Why? It's behind a paywall. Are you kidding me? So it's on the car. It's programmed into the car. Someone spent the time to put that into the car. But then you have to ring up Mercedes for them to send a little code to the car to let it be enabled. That's a scam. So yeah, minus points for the Mercedes, and my Abarth 595 Competizione has CarPlay. So before you buy a car, make sure that CarPlay is enabled. And if you're at the dealership, you can get them to chuck that in for free, which I didn't buy the car, so I couldn't. Let's go for some comments. Actually, guys, ask me, you can ask me driving questions, because I'm a driving instructor sometimes. At the same time as messing about on YouTube, I actually do also teach people to drive. And as we're a driving school channel, let's have some driving questions. Isn't Waze in it? Waze is crap, Google Maps is sick. I like Waze, also free, and can make it sound like Paw Patrol. I didn't know you can make Waze sound like Paw Patrol. That much for a TomTom when Google is free. I know, thinly spread. Yes, exactly. What's my opinion on like £100 CarPlay screen? Oh yeah, I read that one. So that's my opinion on £100 CarPlay screens. They're really necessary if your car didn't come with CarPlay. But if your car comes with CarPlay and it's not enabled, make sure you get it enabled before having to actually pay £400. I've already bought the car and I have to pay £400. I didn't actually buy it because I thought that was just a bit scammy. So let's talk about Waze v Google Maps. In the comments, that way, type Waze or Google Maps with which one you use. And I've got a theory. When you ask people what sat-nav they use, Waze or Google Maps, this is quite a hot topic. I do ask people this question. And I'm convinced that there's one type of person that uses Waze. One type of person. That type of person is the person that likes to drive illegally, too fast, and well, just too fast. When you ask people why they use Waze, Caitlin, what is up? When you ask people why they use Waze, they always say, because it tells me where the police are. There's only one reason you need that. One reason. Maybe for Erin, it's because it sounds like Paw Patrol. Didn't know that's a thing. But when you ask people, Apple Maps, okay. The one that we all forget. Apple Maps is quite good because it actually comes up on, if you've got an Apple Watch, which I do, but it's not on me right now, then it comes up on your watch where to go next. So you don't actually have to look at the phone or even have it next to you. Your watch just tells you turn left in 100 yards. Apple Maps is quite good, but it's not that good. It's not as good as Google Maps. I don't know. The interface is just really, really clear. Londo Spark doesn't even have a screen in a 2005 Volvo. Wow, that car, I didn't even know they still made those. I think they only make really big ones now that look like police cars. Katrine Basbol. I got my license last year. Sorry, that was a horrible pronunciation. Oh my God. I apologize. I'm just going to call you Katrine. Got my license last year. I'm 43 and I'm nervous to drive, especially with my kids. Live in Copenhagen. Fun. Oh my God. I love driving abroad. Driving on the wrong side of the road is so much fun. Shots fired, wrong side of the road. Yeah. Here's the advice that I give to everybody about being nervous to drive on your own. Don't have a destination. Don't need to go somewhere. Get in the car with no time limit. Like if you want to drive to work for your first drive, it's going to be stressful. You're under a time limit. You need to get there on time, and it's going to be rush hour when you're driving to work. Or if you're driving to the supermarket, stressful, especially with kids in the car because they want all the chocolate. Do this. Even if you've got your kids in the car, just drive around the block. One lap around the box, stop. Then assess how it went, and then go again. And then pick somewhere a little bit further. Maybe just drive 3 blocks away and come back. use it as a driving lesson. Stop afterwards, assess how it went, and then go again. And then maybe set an actual destination, like, I don't know what you have in Copenhagen, like the shopping center. Set a destination to the shopping center when you don't need to go shopping. Just get there and come back to confirm that if you did need to go shopping, you'd be able to do it. No time limit, no rush, just you in the car. You and the car, maybe the kids as well. That's a really good piece of advice. If your first drive is like stressful and you're actually need to get somewhere on time, then it's gonna be horrible. Like the same way as if your first motorway drive is on your own and you need to get somewhere on time, really stressful. Like motorway driving can be really stressful if you don't know what you're doing. Ricardo Portwood said commentary driving for you, Katrine. Yeah, as that as well. Did you hear about BMW's heated seats? Londo Spark, I did. So in some BMWs, the heated seat is enabled or disabled. Like there's a button for the heated seats. In winter, sometimes when it's really cold, you're going to want to heat the seats because it's actually so nice. But in some BMWs that were manufactured recently, the button didn't work, and you have to ring up BMW and ask them to make it work, and then you pay for it. Absolute liberties. Ryan was saying she's thinking of buying a TomTom as I thought it gives instructions better than Google Maps. Really? Interesting. You think TomToms give instructions better than Google Maps? Maybe, because it's what you're used to. But I would say Google Maps the screen is clearer. And when I drive around without the voice instructions on because it's really annoying. Really annoying. We're getting a lot of votes for Google Maps though, and I think that's sensible because don't try and avoid the police. If you're trying to avoid the police, then you're not driving responsibly. How hard are front and rear dash cams to fit? I would like one, but I have no practical skills and resent paying an install fee. 2 secs. This is a dash cam. This is my dash cam. I've unplugged all the wires and stuff, but let's talk about it. Oh, this is so fun. Oh, YouTube Lives are the best. Let's talk about dash cams. Dash cams are really easy to fit. Don't pay for installation. I mean, if you have more money than sense and you want it to be really professionally and neatly installed, then sure, go to Halfords and get them to fit it for you. But this is so easy to fit, and all of them are so easy to fit. This one's, I can't remember. They actually sent me this for free, and I did some shout outs for it. But this is a sick dash cam, 4K, front and back. There's a back one in the car that I haven't actually fitted yet. But the wire, in all cars, there's plastic trim. You've got the windscreen. Imagine this. You've got the windscreen here. Next to the windscreen, you've got the poles. In all cars, that plastic bit on the poles just pops off. Just pops off, and you can take it off and run the wire along it and then chase the wire around the car. It's really easy to fit a dash cam. Try it. And then if it's too difficult to fit the dash cam, take it back to the shop and say, you know what, I was wrong. Can you please fit the dash cam for me? No, it's good. It shouts out hazards too. Erin, Waze shouts out hazards. Really? Okay. Maybe I'm shading Waze as the illegal driver's choice of sat-nav, but maybe it's the way forward. I tell you what, just for you, I'm going to install Waze on my phone after this and have a drive around, and we're going to have a Waze versus Google. That's an idea for a video. Waze versus Google Maps. Okay, that's happening. Londo uses Google Maps, don't have an Android Auto in the car, and Google Maps has a better car UI, user interface. Yes, this is why I think it's better, because it just looks nice. And with Waze, like it's all cluttered with adverts and stuff. I don't like that. Papa Evolve, hello. When can I drive from my pickup point home and drive back? I've done 4 lessons, and so far my driving instructor said that I have no major faults when driving. Okay, this is kind of a... Let's talk about this. This is a difficult one, really, because it's hard to say whether you can drive from your home to the lesson point without seeing your driving. Everybody learns at a different rate, and perhaps your instructor is thinking that where you live on a really busy road potentially isn't quite at your level yet. But if you live on a really quiet residential road and your instructor's making you get in the passenger seat while they drive you to somewhere, they might be wasting your time. It's hard to say exactly. If you give me more info in the chat, then I might be able to give more advice. Caitlin, we love the Crocs. No. What? Why is this a car accessory? So I've had this in my car for a long time now. About 3 weeks, Kate and Vicky gifted me these. There's a green one as well. Gifted me these for my birthday as a joke. And I've had them in my car, and they go in the vents like that. And only one person's noticed. Do you think they're being polite and not wanting to shade my shit choices in life? Or do people actually not notice that I've got Crocs on the vents of my car? One person's noticed. I can't believe it. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Love the Crocs or nah? Volvo V70 for Londo Spark. Okay, let me get through some of these comments because there's a lot of comments, and I'm just on Apple Maps. You can download the whole of where you live, so you can use it without data or Wi-Fi. Oh, interesting. So if you live in the middle of nowhere, then that would actually be quite a good feature. Guys, Francis loves the Nissan Leaf after the Abarth. Ryan, no, Nissan Leaf is like the worst car. I've driven one. It was a zip car, and it was horrible. Okay, funny story actually about the Nissan Leaf. I got in it. So with Zipcar, what it is basically, it's a car share scheme. You can hire out cars, and you just basically drive. It's like an Uber, but you have to drive it yourself. If you didn't know what Zipcar is, that's what it is. And I got in one that was a Nissan Leaf, and I couldn't set off for about 5 minutes. Legit, 5 minutes. Couldn't work out how to take the handbrake off. And I've been in a lot of cars. Handbrakes are always there. It's either a button or it's a lever. Couldn't work out how to take the handbrake off. I legit had to Google how do you set off in a Nissan Leaf. So it's not my favorite car. Wasted my time. Logan, what's my top tips for first driving lesson? Okay, don't worry about if it's your actual first lesson, Logan. Don't worry. Here's what's going to happen. Sick. That's my actual number plate. It's not my actual number plate. My actual number plate's a lot bigger, but that's my number plate keychain. If it's your first lesson, here's what's going to happen. You're going to jump in with your driving instructor, and they're going to talk to you about controls and instruments. There's a lot to take in, but there's very little driving. That's your first lesson. What are all the instruments and controls? How do you use them? And what do they do? Very little driving. You just get accustomed and acclimatized to the car in a nice, comfortable way. And it's on the schedule. Like if you get in with your driving instructor on the first lesson, and they're like, right, go. They're not a driving instructor. They will talk you through controls and instruments. And then lesson 2 is moving off and stopping. How to make the car move and then make it stop. The next lesson is normally turning left and right on really basic junctions. So you build up to it. There's nothing in driving that's really, really difficult. It's all layered on top of new knowledge, layered on top of old knowledge. So once you can make the car move and stop, then you can make it turn corners, right? Cool. So first lesson, Logan, is going to be a breeze. You're going to love it. Enjoy. Londo Spark, I've been driving for 15 years, but never driven on the wrong side of the road. Do I have any tips for driving in France? Would I take my own car or hire a left-hand drive one? Interesting. Oh, thank you for the good question. I go to France a lot in the car. I went just before Christmas was the last time I went to France because it's so accessible. Listen, when you've got a driving license, this is the perks of having a driving license and a car, obviously. You can just go on holiday. How much does like a plane ticket cost? Even just to France? I don't know, like 50 quid return, 60, maybe 70. I don't know. But if you go on holiday in your car and get on the boat, they charge you per car, not per person. So if there's, well, not 10 of you, depends what car you've got. If there's like 5 of you in the car, you're going to split the cost and it's like 60 quid for a return, splitting that cost between even 4 people. Banging. And it's not difficult to drive on the wrong side. It does take a little bit of practice and you will forget. I forget sometimes that I'm in France. The last time I was in France, I came out of the supermarket, Carrefour, and I was on the wrong side of the road. You realize very quickly when there's a car coming towards you and then you move to the correct side of the road and no harm done. So I've never hired a left-hand drive car. I always take my car. Mike Wazowski, the Abarth, came with me to France. And it was so much fun. And driving actually is really efficient if you go abroad. It's not like driving in London where it's just traffic all the time. Well, in Paris, it's quite difficult, but don't drive in Paris. That's a really bad idea. But if you drive anywhere else, especially if you use the motorways, it just is so much more organized than in England. I passed my test, but I still don't know how to drive. What? You passed your test, but you still don't know how to drive. That's not you not knowing how to drive. That's confidence for sure. That's your confidence. So if you didn't hear the tip that I gave earlier about how to build your confidence when it's your first time driving solo, that is the best tip. Just like go around the block, once around the block, without any pressure on you at all. Not to work. Don't drive to work. Don't drive when there's like a time limit or anything. Just go once around the block. Katrine Bell. Yeah, Katrine, I gave you the tip. Thank you. I'll drive that. Motorway lessons are a part of taking the license in Denmark. So you actually find that easy than driving in the city. Driving on the motorway is easy. All the traffic's going one way. Yeah, you're going a bit faster, but the lanes are really wide. And like the road isn't bendy. There's no junctions. You just drive for sure. I find motorway driving is much easier than in the city. Jalal, can you tell me please, what is the cause of if car brake have to be pushed all the way down to stop when car bonnet oil gauge of brakes are also fine? I think what you mean is when you press the brakes, the pedal goes all the way down to the bottom. Two things might be wrong. Either your brake fluid is low or your brake pads are worn. So when you brake, does it make a noise? If not, then it might be the brake fluid, or it might just be incorrectly adjusted brakes. If you take it to a mechanic, though, they'll be able to find it, sort it, and fix it for sure. Go to a mechanic. If your car's acting weird, then go to a mechanic, because if you need the brakes and they don't work properly, then yeah, let's not even get into that car crash territory. Eeyore, I did that, just drove, but managed to get lost and ended up having to go up a very steep, twisted hill, managed it, not fun and scary. Okay, there's one more tip to that. If it's your first drive, if it is legit your first drive and you don't need to drive to the shop, you don't need to drive to work, then I should be sponsored by Google. Always. Use Google Maps and use a sat nav and get one of these. This is actually really sick. So this is magnetic. This clips into your vent. And then on the back of your phone, you can have one of these, which is a metal plate. Boom. Holds your phone onto the vent, so you can then see the map but not touch the phone while you're driving. Let's be responsible. So get a phone mount. The magnetic ones are especially good because then you can put it on and easily detach it. It's just really convenient. I recommend that one. Ricardo, what is up, you absolute legend? I want to know what other things I can make YouTube do. With following SatNav, bigger the screen, the easier it is to plan ahead, and therefore the higher the chance of safety is. Yes, for sure. What is up, Caitlin? I actually do have my dash cam wired in, but it was more of an issue to take it out when I got rid of my old car. Pushing it under the seats is so much easier. Yeah, just wire it in yourself. And if it looks messy, like, who cares except for you? Well, okay, maybe you care if it looks messy, but then try and tuck it under some stuff or push it up in underneath the plastic. Waze shouts out hazards and broken down cars. Does it really? Wow, it's like having a driving instructor next to you. That'd be really annoying. Francis, if you had to pick between your old Mercedes and the Nissan Leaf, what would you pick? As the Nissan Leaf has CarPlay, I'd not pick the Nissan Leaf. I'd pick the Mercedes because the Nissan Leaf is. I'm sorry, it's your. I know it's your mum's car. So let's leave it there. But I wouldn't pick that over. I'm gonna say it. I'd take an Oyster card over a Nissan Leaf. Failed my driving test 4th time and I feel really down. Oh, Mikhail, sorry to hear that, man. What happened? What happened? Don't give up, though. I taught someone how to drive who failed 13 times. 13 times. And she didn't give up and passed on her 14th time. And now she's driving around. So it doesn't really matter how many times it takes. It's the fact that you don't give up. And once you've passed, all the times that you failed will just be a funny story. For sure. You won't, like, funny story for the pub. Once you've got a driving license, who cares how many times it took, right? It feels sucky right now, but trust me, it won't be forever. What do the Crocs do? Logan. Absolutely nothing. They don't do anything. They clip into the vents and they look like that. The Crocs don't do anything. They're just quite. I wanted to put them in the car. Like Kate sent me them. Kate and Vicky sent me these as a joke because I don't like Crocs, and I wanted to put them in the car for banter, and only one person has actually noticed them so far. or commented on them. Maybe everyone's noticed them, but they don't want to be shady and rude because they think I love it. Caitlin, I don't prefer a Peugeot. What is up? Eva's back. Peugeots are the worst. No, actually, no. Nissan Leaf is the worst car. Sorry, Rayan. Where the car is bright as yours, do I still get people pulling out on you the way I do in my dark blue one? What is up, Londo? I do get the joke all the time. People say, oh, well, imagine if you had an accident. They couldn't bloody miss you. That's the color of my car, for real. It's fluorescent yellow. And I don't really, no, I haven't noticed much difference. Because my old car, I guess, was white. You can't miss a white car either. Jalal Haidar, oil is fine. Well, then you should definitely take it to a mechanic. And it might be worn brakes. You should definitely take your car to a mechanic. Like, your brakes are quite important. They stop you from crashing into things. So definitely get it checked out. How hard is it to adapt to different vehicles? You're currently learning in a Vauxhall Astra, but looking at a Mercedes A-Class for your first car. Wow, cool. Simon, good question. It's not hard to adapt to different cars because they all drive the same, for sure. Like gas, brake, clutch. Or if you're in an automatic, just those two. Steering works the same. Indicator's always in the same place. Gear's always in the same place, and they work the same. The steering will feel different. The steering in the Mercedes is quite light. The driving experience will feel different, but essentially the operation of the car is exactly the same. So it won't be difficult. It might take 5 minutes because it feels, oh, how I normally feel that steering is feeling different, but it won't take too long. And it won't be difficult. It'll just be like, oh, that feels different. Interesting. Hood exclusives. Cool. What's the best advice for someone who's looking to take their theory soon? Oh, what should you do to prepare? Download a theory app. There's loads of them out there. Eva would recommend James May's theory test. And I quite like James May because he's really funny. So probably want to download his app and learn your theory stuff. Nissan is also taxis, bro. Are they? Okay. Prius is normally Ubers, but yeah, cool. Katrine Bell, I've driven lots of times since taking the license. It's not that. I just feel nervous every time. Still, even though it goes quite well, it's just annoying that I'm avoiding driving. Damn. It just feels nerve-wracking. Yeah, I guess because, like, I think it might be a mindset thing then. It might be a mindset thing. Like, it's not illegal to have a crash. And if it happens, it happens. Like, that's what you pay all of that money for insurance for. Yeah, maybe you want to, instead of being nervous about crashing, just think like, oh, if it happens, I'm going to be at like 20 miles an hour. My car's going to have a scratch and that's it. So let's talk about this. This is probably my most used thing in the boot. Boom. I don't know why, but because perhaps I drive my car, I drive my Abarth 595 Competizione enthusiastically. I quite often have low pressure in my tires. So get one of these. Like, imagine having a flat tire or your tire pressure being low and you not being able to pump it up without driving all the way to a petrol station to use their pump. This costs like 20 quid. This is essential. This is actually essential to keep in the boot. This plugs into the cigarette lighter port. That's all it needs. And it will pump up a tire from flat in about 3 or 4 minutes. I got this from Argos. I can't remember how much it cost. I think it was 20 quid. Such a bargain. If you have a car and you don't have a tire inflator, get one for sure. Tell you what I also have in the car. This is a first aid kit. It's look how big it is compared to my head. You don't need one this big. You actually don't need one this big. It's a ridiculously big first aid kit, but I like to be prepared. The kind of things that you need in your first aid kit are like tissues, because you never know when you're going to have dirty hands and you want to clean them off. Bandages, plasters, and maybe even a foil blanket. What you'll also want is like paracetamol in case you feel shit and you're on a long drive. Probably also going to want just like kids medication as well. If you've got kids and you're driving with them, it's a really good idea to take. Okay, this isn't Calpol, it's Pirites, but take some Calpol as well. so that if they feel rubbish, especially if they feel sick on a long drive or start to feel bad, you can help them out, because sick kids on a long journey is not fun. Let me get into the comments. Thank you guys for joining. Lives always go so fast. I've been talking for 40 minutes. Thank you all for joining. Appreciate you all. Let's get into the comments. You guys are typing stuff at me, and I'm in my own world. Come back down to Middlesbrough, Logan. Yes, you loved seeing me down where I live. I'm quite often up in Middlesbrough just to visit Vicky, because that's where she lives. But yeah, need to make more videos up there for sure. It's such a lovely place to take a driving test. Vicky's local test centre is Hartlepool Driving Test Centre. If you haven't seen what Hartlepool's like, we actually did a video there, me and Vicky. It's so nice. You drive on this by the seaside for your driving test. Imagine, and like we've got Erith, gross. How I got over. Passed my test first time round thanks to your videos. Awesome. It was in Mitcham, but the funny thing is the route wasn't anywhere on YouTube. Yeah, because like at each driving test centre, they're going to have about roughly 15 different driving test routes, and they change them up all the time. If examiners notice that like there's loads of driving instructors doing a route, and I'm sure after I've published one on YouTube, they spot it and they're like, right, well, now that route's busted, so now we've got to change it. Although in fact, there's a route in Morden, which is the morning route. In Morden, it's like mad traffic in the morning because there's so many schools around there. So there's 2 routes. There's 15 in total, but for the morning driving test, there's 2 routes. I probably shouldn't say this on YouTube. There's 2 routes that they can take you on. I've got both of them on YouTube. I haven't actually said which one is the 810 route because I feel like that would just be cheating, but I've done them and they are still the 810 routes and they're on YouTube. So if your driving test is in Morden, look at all of my Morden routes and you will get, well, if your test is at 810, you'll get one of those routes for sure. Is that cheating? I don't know. It probably is cheating. I actually do know a driving instructor, talking about the Morden 810 routes. I know a driving instructor that makes all of his driving students book the 810 driving test and he teaches them the 810 test route. At least I don't do that. But yeah, if your test is in the morning at Morden, then watch all of my Morden videos and you'll get one of them as a test route, as your test route. Guys, I'm really sorry. I'm having a bad feeling about my next test. Can I please get some love and support in the comments, guys, for Ricardo Portwood? You having a bad feeling about your next test? Oh man, guys, get in the comments. Big up Ricardo Portwood, because guy's actually a legend. Papa Evolve, thank you about the pickup. I live by Morden Road tram stop. My practice point is in Morden Quite area, where there's all other driving lessons being taught. Maybe I should ask him. Okay, you should ask him, when can I drive from my pickup place and what do I need to do to get there? Yeah, loads of comments for Ricardo. Get there, and help out Ricardo Portwood. Give him some love, energy, and positivity, because that's what we're all about here. Caitlin, lol, that's the car Laura had, and she just don't like it. But now we know what car he really hates, and it's a Nissan Leaf. Peugeot, I don't know. I don't actually. This is going to ruin it. I don't actually hate Peugeots too much. Some of them are really nice. Laura's Peugeot, the old one, was rubbish and it broke down a lot. And that's why I took the piss out of it so much. And she loved it though. She loved that car. Now it's gone. So Peugeot Bants in the bin. Enthusiastically, I drive it like I don't drive it like I hate it. Londo, I drive my Abarth 595 Competizione like I absolutely love it, but very enthusiastically. Okay, here's the story of how Mikhail failed his driving test. I was emerging from a junction onto a main road, which was quite narrow, and there was a parked car close to that junction, so my intention was to stop behind the car, but the examiner thought I was going to go on the other side of the road where the oncoming vehicle came. So he hit the brake. Oh, this is why, top tip, commentary driving is so important, because if you'd said, okay, I'm emerging, but I'm not going very quickly. I'm just going to think about what's coming on the left and right, blah, blah, blah. Like, talk through what you're doing. The examiner then knows, right, Mikhail's not setting off. He's just nudging forward a bit. Commentary driving is so important because the examiner doesn't know you and they don't know how well you drive. They don't know what you're thinking. So if you start doing something, they're going to assume the worst and stop an accident from potentially happening. This is why, if you haven't seen the commentary driving video, watch it. It's the video that I'm the most proud of making on YouTube. Not for production value. Well, yeah, kind of for production value, but just for its helpfulness and how many people that it's helped. Watch the commentary driving video on Driving School TV, this channel. Cherad passed their test first time on Thursday at Sid Cup. Oh my God, Sid Cup's horrible. Well done for passing at Sid Cup. Just went out for my first drive in my car on my own. Super scary, but so cool. Your videos helped me so much. Thank you, Cherub. Congratulations on passing, and well done for taking your first drive. Hopefully your first drive wasn't in Sid Cup. Sid Cup is horrible because of the roundabouts. That horrible roundabout by the test center. But I think that wherever your driving test is, if you practice the hard bits enough, you'll pass, no problem. So wise, Francis, bro. I'm another paramedic, legend paramedic. This I bought this. This was an empty first aid kit from Amazon, and I've filled it. Like the stuff I've got in here, you actually don't need at all. There's a pulse oximeter in there. You don't need that at all. You don't need to have a pulse ox in your car at all. There's a stethoscope. You don't need that in your car at all. You only need like a basic stuff. I just have a lot of, I'm not a paramedic, but I do some medical stuff. Gloves are always handy, especially when you're fueling up. Oh my God, do you know what I forgot to get? As I thought of it just before I came on the live. I was going to go and get my collection of pump gloves from the car, but I forgot. So yes, you should always keep gloves handy. And in case the petrol station doesn't have a set of pump gloves, because if they don't have a set of pump gloves, then you're going to get petrol pumpy juicy hands from the gross petrol pump. But this was a controversial thing. We talked about this on the podcast. Me, Vicky and Kate discussed pump gloves on the podcast, and everybody thought I was stupid. And you don't need pump gloves. If you didn't need pump gloves, then why would they give them out for free? I don't know. But yes, I always use pump gloves when I fill up my car. But apparently not everybody else does. I don't know. Does it make you less manly, or does it make you, I don't know. But yeah, pump gloves are essential. I always use pump gloves because I don't want to get petrol. Like petrol smells gross. I don't want to get that on my hands. What is up, James Omas? Thanks for the super chat, bro. Love you for that, my man. Got your car theory in 2 weeks. Any tips? Car theory in 2 weeks? Yes, I have tips. Are you using an app? If not, get on it. My pulse oximeter is beeping, telling me that I'm dead because I have no pulse. Yeah, get on one of the apps. Revise loads. If you've got the James May app, the 4-in-1 app, those questions that are in the app, they've licensed them from the DVSA. There's a question bank of like 1,000 questions that could come up on your actual theory test. They're all in the app. It doesn't matter what app you have. They've all got the same questions from the DVSA. Those questions will come up in your theory test. So if you know them and you know the answers to them, you can't fail. Top tip. Also though, let's do the balloons as well. Let's have some balloons. Drop balloons. So stupid. The hazard perception though is quite tricky. It's a bit like a game. It's not so much about there's the hazard, click now. It's more about knowing exactly there's the hazard and when they want you to click for the hazard. So James Amas, James, J-Dog, J-Bro, go and check out the hazard perception. I've got a playlist. There's like 5 videos in it. They're all really short. They're all about 5 minutes, but there's 5 videos I think there's 5 videos in the hazard perception playlist. Watch them all from the first one to the last one. They're really good. Hazard perception training is essential. So yeah, firstly, go through the questions on the app till you know all of them and you can answer them, and then check out my hazard perception playlist because it will legit change the game for you. Logan, when I live in Middlesbrough, it's horrible, but when you can visit it, it's decent. Oh, you don't like living in Middlesbrough? Middlesbrough's so nice. What? Middlesbrough's the best. Safia, not gross at all, just out of the way of seaside. What? You don't like living in Middlesbrough? You live off Linthorpe Road. Logan, I'm coming round. Linthorpe Road is my fave. I've spent so much time on Linthorpe Road. That Weatherspoons got smashed by all of us when we were up there. And the best Japanese food that I've ever had was from that Japanese. I can't remember the name of it. And Una Memento. Oh, half Parmo, half pasta. Damn, taking me back. Good memories of Linthorpe Road. I'm back. I've missed most of this life. Eva. Don't say why you've missed the live though. Don't say why. Eva. Don't spoil it. Everyone's got to tune in tomorrow to find out what the hell you've been up to. Eva's video, Eva's last mock test on the channel is going to be tomorrow. Wait, is that a kind of a spoiler? She'll be back for more videos. Moving on. Whoosh. Creative JB, I passed my driving test second time last Saturday, but just waiting for insurance cover to start on the 2nd. Oh, that does suck. Damn, man. Also, Winchester's a very good place to do the test. Ah, is it? Okay, that's a hack, Winchester. But Winchester's quite far. I guess only if you live around Winchester. Ricardo, yes, feeling the love. Logan Dawson, favorite Peugeot. I tell you what my favorite Peugeot is. I've got one favorite Peugeot. My favorite Peugeot is a scrapped Peugeot. Yes, Francis, bro. Comment you. Yes, Safia. I'm going to try and look at the driving test with my car. Hope I won't scare an examiner without a dual control. Yeah, take your own car to the driving test because, like, if you drive it the most, then you'll be the most comfortable driving it. You'll be the most comfortable in your own car. If you don't need to take your driving instructor's car, then you should probably take your own car because you'll be more comfortable in it. There's no benefit at all to taking a driving instructor's car or going with a driving instructor. I've said that a lot. Instructors hate me for it, but whose driving test is it? Is it your driving instructor's driving test or is it your driving test? Do whatever is the best option for you. And quite often, taking your instructor's car, don't do it. They'll charge you loads of money as well. Okay, here's another one to look out for. How much is your driving instructor charging you for your driving test? Get in the comments, guys. Like, legit, the driving test is about 45 minutes max, and you're going to have an hour lesson before it. So realistically, whatever your driving instructor charges per hour, they should be charging you times 2. So if your driving instructor charges £30 an hour, they should be charging you £60 for your test day. What is your driving? What's the most ridiculous price that someone's been charged for a driving test? Because I've heard too many times that driving instructors charging like £200 for a test day. So cheeky. Plus, on a driving test, think about it. Your instructor is doing the least work out of your whole driving journey because they're sitting in the driving test center doing nothing, just hanging out on their phone, probably eating a sandwich. So watch out for that one. If you haven't spoken to your driving instructor about what they charge on a test day, speak to them about it early so you can do something about it early and they don't spring it on you at the last minute. Like, hey, by the way, bro, I charged £200 for the test day and your test is tomorrow. Now you actually have to pay that now. You have no option. You have to pay that because your test is tomorrow and you've got no time to sort anything else. So yeah, that's one tip to look out for. Ask Eve. Oh, Eve, hey. I passed first time age 39 last September. How do you cope with backseat drivers who don't drive themselves? I'm quite a confident, enthusiastic driver. You're enthusiastic too, but safe. Backseat drivers who don't drive themselves, tell them to shush and ask to see their driving license. And then when they say, I don't have one, say, well, shush then. Yeah, awesome. Well done, Eve. You passed last September. I didn't know that, but so congratulations. Londo, as someone who doesn't drive in cities much, what do you do to build up confidence in cities? Do it more. And the same tip I gave to the other person, to Katrine, don't have a goal with it, going somewhere at a certain time. Just maybe take yourself to the city to have a little drive around. Use Google Maps to take you to a place and then take you back again. That's a really good idea. Nothing can make you less manly. IMO. Logan Dawson. Thanks. You sure? You sure, bro? You sure? Okay. Simon, good idea or bad idea? When you pass your driving test, give your instructor a little bonus by taking them to a petrol station and paying for a refill. Good idea. That's nice. But I think that you pay your instructor enough. If you want to get them a gift or something, then maybe a bottle of wine or some chocolates is nice. And a card. Do a card. For sure. Like at the bare minimum, do a card. When I first started being a driving instructor, which was a long time ago, like 9 years ago this summer, I used to get cards all the time. Like when people pass their driving test, they'd give me a card and I'd be like, oh, that's so nice. But it doesn't happen so much anymore, which is weird. So let's bring that back. If you like, not for me, but for your driving instructor, get them a card when you pass, for sure. It means so much. Well, for me anyway, and probably for your driving instructor too. Katrine, oh hey, why are motorway lessons not part of the test in the UK? That's a really good question. They should be. And actually, you can't even practice on a motorway unless you're with a driving instructor, which is insane. Actually insane. Like, and that never used to be a thing either. So you wouldn't be able to practice on a motorway with an instructor or with your friends. Like, you just can't practice on a motorway until you pass. Insane. Yeah, Katrine, there's loads of dumb stuff in the UK that that refers to driving that doesn't make any sense. Maybe we should all move to Denmark. Oh no, we can't because of Brexit. Because if you click early, there's yes, okay, Cherub. I think I've got an easy test route. They took me around Old Bexley and near to Bexley Heath, which is where I live. Oh, nice. So I knew all the roads, didn't have to do the Crittles Corner roundabout. Thankfully, the examiners all seem really nice. Yeah, it's nice when you get a nice examiner. Eva, what is up? Look out my bedroom window and I can watch drug deals for hours in the alley across the road. Oh, Linthorpe Road. Yeah. I still love it. I still love it. Thinly Spread paid £200 for 2 hours. Nice. That's reasonable, right? Because you take about 2 hours of your instructor's time. We're talking about driving test day, how much your instructor charges you for a driving test day. £70 for 2 hours. That's reasonable because that means £35 an hour is what they charge you for an hour of lessons, and they've charged you £70 for 2 hours. Driving test for an hour and an hour of prep before. Nice. Eva says my instructor charges £200 for a test. What's you talking about? Your instructor's me. I don't charge you £200 for a test. Outrageous. I didn't charge you at all for the last. Anyway, no spoilers. Any new mock test videos coming soon? Jalal, yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow is Eva's last video on the channel. Eva is I want to tell you guys so badly, but no, just come watch tomorrow morning and we will. It's a really fun video. Eva had a surprise at the end, something I made her do, and it's really fun. So tomorrow morning, watch that one. £162 for a fast track from Kalila. Oh wow, £162 for a fast track test. So you paid £100 more than the driving test was to get. Oh, it's so sad. Like, with the driving tests now, with them being so booked up for so long, like, I don't know. And it builds, I don't know. Please, okay. I'm not going to be able to change this or change the world, but think about this. If we all stopped paying people for their inflated price driving tests, then probably they'd go out of business and driving tests would go back to being available. I don't know. We can't. Like, if you just failed your driving test and you wanted another test really fast, you're going to pay that money. But it's just so annoying because pre-COVID, like, you could get a driving test in 3 or 4 weeks and pay £62 for it, and now it's like you can't get a driving test for 6 months. 58 minutes. Wow, damn. The lives go so fast. I'm gonna take the last questions now. I intended this to be about half an hour, but an hour's cool. Are there any car accessories that I haven't shown you yet on my table? Yes, there are. So I'm going to show you the last car accessories. I'm going to ask you one more question, and you guys can ask me some more questions as well. I'll take the last questions, and then I'm going to go. So we're going to have some interesting. I've actually never opened this before, so let me see if I can. Oh, sick! I've never opened it because I've never had to use it. Okay, this is really cool. That's a warning triangle. Oh, I've never opened it, but it's really easy to put up. This is a car accessory that is very recommended, but I've never broken down and had to use it. And I think if I did break down, unless I was on a motorway, probably wouldn't put out a warning triangle anyway. Quiz, just for some fun. How far back from your vehicle should you place a warning triangle when you've broken down? This is a theory test question. Do you know the answer? And I've got one easy way of remembering. If you've got your theory test coming up, this is a great hack to remembering the answer to this question. So get in the comments, and if you know the answer, great. Oh, Monel got it right. Congrats, man. Yes, and the hack to remembering is snooker. Vicky taught me this one. 147 is something to do with snooker. I don't know what, but it's something to do with snooker. And the 147 meters, or is it 147 feet? I don't think it's 147 meters, but Monel, you were close. 147 feet for sure. Any advice for your test in a few weeks? Lucas, yes. I've got loads of actual really good driving test tips in Eva's video tomorrow with the studio commentary. I give out some gold tips, but here's the number one tip. Confidence is really important. Confidence is the number one thing that you can have to pass your driving test, because when you're on your own with the examiner, it's super lonely. So if you're more confident, you're going to have more chance of passing. Every time you pass a mirror, bear with me, this sounds weird, but go with it. Every time you pass a mirror, every time you go to the toilet, every time you wake up or go to sleep, you're passing a mirror. Look at yourself, like dead in the eyes. Ask yourself one question. Can you drive? Answer it. Actually, do you know what? Yeah, I can. That positive self-talk will build and build and build and build and build, and it will make your driving much better. 147 is a maximum in snooker. Oh, thanks, Londo. Cool. Awesome. That's what it has to do with snooker. Commentary is number one. Yeah, also commentary. Watch Lucas. Watch the commentary video, because that's probably the other number one thing that you can do on your test to help you pass. Dino, can you get failed for stopping at a stop sign and not putting the handbrake on? You don't need to put the handbrake on at a stop sign. The sign says stop, not handbrake. So you just have to stop. All four wheels have to come to a complete stop before you go again. That's the rule for a stop sign. So some instructors do say that you have to put your handbrake on, because then it creates an action in between stopping and going again. So it is a tool that I've used on some occasions before as well. I've told people that you need to put the handbrake on, because as you're looking to the right, when you get to the giveaway line, when you get to the stop line, you get to the stop line, you look to the right, you know that you need to stop, but you look and you see nothing coming, and it's that automatic reaction of, oh, off the brake, back on the gas. So making that extra step of I need to put the handbrake on stops you from looking right and then seeing that there's nothing coming and then going. So you don't have to put the handbrake on, but it's a good, useful thing to make you, if you don't stop at the stop line, you will fail. It's nothing to do with the handbrake. One else says, I suggest bringing the instructor with you. It helped me. Okay, yeah. This is a personal choice. Some people like the instructor in the back of the car. Some people say, nah, extra eyes watching makes you more nervous. But some people say, yeah, I want a friendly face in the back, like someone that I can just go, you know what, my instructor's here, everything's okay. So it is a personal choice. Lucas, you're welcome. Katrine, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Samson, can you do a driving test videos in Gloucester? I could. I might have to Google where Gloucester is first. Oh no, I think it's near Wales. I'd have to Google it. I actually don't know where Gloucester is. I've never been to Gloucester, but yeah, I could for sure. Samson, I guess you live in Gloucester for sure. Ricardo, junction observation, number one fail. Okay, so the number one thing that people fail for is observation at junctions. Yeah, so don't do that. And don't be a statistic on the DVSA's thing. Eve, appreciate you loads. Thanks for the super chat. My MG4 EV bricked itself and died while doing 65 on an A road. I got a Hyundai Bion petrol hybrid now. Oh, I'd love a hybrid car. Do you know what? The worst thing, there's one really bad thing, Eve, about my car. I love it so much, but it drinks a hell of a lot of petrol. A hell of a lot. It might be my enthusiastic driving style, but it just canes through petrol. So a hybrid would be very, very useful. The other thing that would be useful is a diesel. You actually pay a little bit more for diesel fuel at the pump, but your car will drink it so much more slowly. You'll spend so much more in fuel if you're driving a petrol versus a diesel. But I'd love to try a hybrid. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever driven a hybrid. Eve, can I borrow your car for my first hybrid experience? Thinly Spread got a hybrid and saves you so much on petrol. I bet it does. Oh, is it fun to drive though? Like, is it fun still? Because when the electric motor is electricing, you get, I don't know, is the electric motor not too small? When you drive an electric car, it's really fast. I've driven a Golf E. That was a sick car, so fast. I've driven a Fiat 500e, so far. Like, the electric version of the Fiat is insane. It's so fun. But when you've got a small petrol engine and a small electric engine, and they're working, like, instead of a big petrol engine and a big electric engine, or a big, like, you've got a small one. I don't know. Is it fun? Lots of love and wishes to you for tomorrow. Going to smash it. Truly believe in you, Eva. Yeah, good luck for tomorrow, Eva. You're gonna smash it. Any diesel? Are diesel under ULEZ compliance, Monel? So if you live in London or Bristol, I think has ULEZ as well. Birmingham might have ULEZ. If you have a city with ULEZ, you can drive diesel cars in ULEZ. I think it's diesel cars that are over 6 years old aren't ULEZ compliant. Don't quote me. And petrol cars over 10 years old, don't quote me. But you have to have a slightly newer diesel than a petrol. So if you have a petrol, you can have a much older one and it still be ULEZ compliant. If it's a diesel, it has to be slightly newer because diesels pump out more emissions. But yes, they can be ULEZ compliant for sure. Just have to have a slightly newer one, but you'll pay so much less in fuel. It's so worth it. Francis, guess where I am right now? Eva, where are you? I don't know. At the cinema. Don't spoil it. No, Eva, no spoilers. I don't know. I'll text you in 5 minutes. Come to Barry, South Wales. Oh my God, you're in Wales. I bloody love a Welsh accent. I'm not going to do it. It'll be really insulting, but Welsh is my favorite accent for sure. Thinly Spread, I enjoy driving the hybrid. Only time you can tell it's a hybrid is when you take your foot off the gas. You can feel the car slow down. Oh, it's doing the regenerative braking because it generates electricity from the braking. That's quite fun. Birmingham does have ULEZ. ULEZ isn't a bad thing. I think ULEZ gets a bad rap. Like, if your car is so polluting that it's not eligible for ULEZ, surely, like, you shouldn't be driving it around a city where that many people live. Like, Sadiq Khan gets a bad rap for a lot. For me, all the 20 limits in London is stupid. Like, on massive dual carriageways, it's all 20 miles an hour. What's going on? But actually, ULEZ is a good idea. Do we want to breathe in shitty air, or do we want to breathe in? I'm begrudgingly in favor of ULEZ. Last questions now, because I've been talking for an hour and 8 minutes, and even I've had fun. Okay, I'm going to be doing this again, either every Saturday or every other Saturday. I'm leaning towards every other Saturday at the moment. Eva's at McDonald's, obviously. You love a bloody McDonald's. Probably eating chicken nuggets and chips. I'm going to be doing this probably every other Saturday, like twice a month. I'll go live with a theme of car accessories. This is a stethoscope. Car accessories. I won't do car accessories every time. I'll think of a different theme every single time, and we'll talk about something else related to driving. Dashcam, I'm just making sure I've shown you all of my crap. My love this, the bloody Hoover. I have shown you everything. I'm going to think of a different theme every time. I'm going to spread the knowledge and information and give you a different topic every different live stream. But hang out with me. Come and see me on the next live stream. We will talk about driving. We'll talk about cars. We'll talk about learning to drive, and we'll have a cool little community. See, Eve, I see your comments all the time, and I didn't know that you'd passed your driving test. Now we get to hang out together in the same room, in the same chat. Now I know, and congratulations. I'm so happy for you. So happy for you. Your car will turn its engine off while doing 70 on the motorway. What? Safia says, Eva, tell me you driven yourself there. I need to end this live before tomorrow's video is ruined. I'm pretty sure my car pollutes a lot less than a modern car. Yeah, Londo. Eva, no, I haven't driven here. I live next to it. Oh, you walked to McDonald's. Good, Eva. Cool. Oh my god, I want to tell you guys so badly. So next time we catch up and we'll be able to talk about Eva, that'll be really fun. Probably in 2 weeks. Ricardo, as always, appreciate you, bro, because you are today's top commenter. Absolute legend. That's for you, Ricardo. It's fine. It's just saving petrol. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. I've had so much fun today with you. Here's my final thought. Where did I get the Hoover from? That's from Amazon. It's a really good Hoover. If you didn't hear it, listen to this. It's powerful as fuck. Here's my final thought. On your driving test, they don't mark you down for going the wrong way. If your examiner says turn left and you don't turn left, nothing happens, nothing goes wrong. Should it be the case where where going the wrong way is actually marked down as a fault? Because actually, think about this. If you wanted a really easy driving test, every time the examiner takes you to a roundabout, you could just choose to go left first exit and give yourself the easiest driving test route. You could just go left, 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 and come back to the test center. And the examiner's there like, turn right. And you're like, no, I'm going to turn left. Final thought, I'm not going to give you my opinions on it. I actually talk about it in tomorrow's video with Eva. So that's my final thought. Thank you for joining me on the live stream. Appreciate every single one of you. I'm actually going to find out what other things I can make the YouTube thing do. Cool. And love y'all. See you tomorrow. I'll be in the comments, commenting back with you. The video will be ready tomorrow morning. No spoilers, but it's bloody awesome. See you there. Peace. Bye.